The Dodge Demon is the most insane production car ever made, still to this day, and I'm gonna tell you why. Starting with the heart of the beast, and I'm gonna do this video with the Demon on because it doesn't quite sound like it wants to start back up again, and the last thing I wanna do is have to call Steve and be like, hey man, can you come and jumpstart the Demon? So bear with me here. I'm sure you guys are not gonna complain because it's got a beautiful sound to it, which we'll get to here in a minute. But like I said, let's start with the heart of the beast because this does have a 6.2 liter V8 that is very similar to the Hellcat engine. However, this has 97 different parts that differentiates it from the standard Hellcat. First being the valve covers are in red. Second being this has a 2.7 liter supercharger on it, whereas the regular Hellcat has a 2.4 liter supercharger on it. So this supercharger is 0.3 liters bigger than the regular Hellcat. Good math. A couple other things that differentiate this from the regular Hellcat include a new crank, different connecting rods, different pistons, a new cam, and a upgraded valve train, obviously. Also, boost on the Demon reaches 14.5 psi over the 11.6 psi of a stock Hellcat. I'm sure you guys already know the horsepower numbers, but I'm going to talk about them anyway. So without the Demon crate and without race fuel, you can make 808 horsepower and 717 pound-feet of torque. However, if you guys do option for the $1 Demon crate package and fill this sucker up with race fuel, you can make 840 horsepower and 770 pound-feet of torque. Again, optioned with the Demon crate package and filled up with race fuel. 0 to 60 in 2.1 seconds, which is absolutely insane. This is like faster, and obviously that's on a prepped surface. Right now I don't think it's going to do a 2.1 second 0 to 60, but I think that's absolutely insane even on a prepped surface. And the quarter mile in 9.65 seconds at 140 miles an hour. That's absolutely insane for a production car. I mean, take a look at this thing. I mean, you can see how insane it is just by looking at it. The top speed is 168 miles an hour with the Governor. However, you can remove the limiter with a control module that is also from the Demon crate package. One Demon that I saw on the internet reached the top speed of just over 211 miles an hour, which is, again, absolutely insane, and just about 6 miles per hour shy of what a Lamborghini Aventador can do top speed wise. Now let's talk about the transmission, because this is also where it gets pretty insane. Yes, it does have the 8-speed automatic that is very similar to the Hellcat's transmission. However, this one has a trans brake. What other factory production vehicle comes with the trans brake? I mean, that's just absolutely insane. Now, another thing that differentiates this from the Hellcats is that this has a 315/40 square stance. So, I mean, take a look at these tires. These tires, yeah, not built for rain. These tires are built for track. And then you can see you got the little Demon ghoul right here on the sidewall of the tire. And then another thing that I thought was pretty interesting is that to fit these 18-inch thick boy wheels, they had to make the front brakes a little bit smaller. So you get 4 piston front brakes, 4 piston rear brakes, whereas on the Hellcat, I believe it's 6 piston front brakes. And I'm not quite sure what the regular Hellcat has in the rear. Again, you got the Demon ghoul, you got the wide body, and really from the side, other than the wheel and tire setup, and you can see that it sits a little bit higher in the back, it doesn't look that much different than a regular Hellcat. However, let's close the hood, because here's another thing that's interesting and pretty insane on the Demon is this 42.5-inch front air intake. That's the biggest air intake of any production vehicle, and it just looks absolutely phenomenal. When you see this thing cruising down the road, you know immediately what it is, because I mean, that air intake is massive. The regular Hellcat's air intake is like that big. This thing is like double or triple the size. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And then I guess one thing I don't want to skip over is that obviously, just like a regular Hellcat, you get those beautiful halo headlights, and then you get the intake right here that leads directly into the air intake, and boom, you can see that Demon lit up in there. That is so sick, so insane. And there are a few other Easter eggs that I'll show you on the interior. Again, another Demon ghoul right here, beautiful red paint just in time for December. This is the ultimate Santa sleigh. Obviously, you got your fuel door, and then in the rear you get another set of 315/40s, and that's not quite as wide as what you would find on like a stock C7 Z06. I believe those are like a 325 or a 335 section from the factory, but just listen to that growl out of the Demon. It sounds phenomenal. I'll be quiet here for a second. absolutely phenomenal. One thing that's kind of cool about even the Demon is that, yes, it's pretty much a track-ready drag car from the factory. However, you still get a massive trunk. So let's open up the trunk. You can see, boom, absolutely massive. And right here, actually, let's take a look at the window sticker. So the window sticker, the MSRP of this Demon is $89,062. You can see all the optional equipment right there. Just absolutely beautiful. What's the color name on this? This is called Tour Red exterior paint, which is actually one of my favorite colors on a Dodge product. I'm kind of shocked in myself that I didn't know what the name of the color was. Another thing that's pretty insane about the Demon is the suspension. So you do get adaptive Bilstein dampers that are built for drag racing. So basically the car will shift the majority of the weight to put on these rear wheels, so it will hook and book rather than spin. And it also has softer rear springs, again, for that squat that you want, so that you can hook and book down the drag strip, hook and book from the stoplight, smoking your buddy's Hellcat. So that is also pretty insane. I mean, what other vehicle do you know that is basically a built drag car from the factory? And that's what makes the Demon so insane, is that with the Demon crate, you also do get a 4.5-inch wide front wheel, so you can really put those pizza cutters on there and just hook and book down the track, save a little bit of weight up front. I mean, that's just absolutely insane. From factory, you get pizza cutters. There are no other vehicles on the road that come from the factory with pizza cutters. It's just such a cool product. Thank you, Dodge, for building a car like this, because I don't think any car like this will ever be built unless it's Dodge. This is just absolutely insane. It's an absolutely insane vehicle. It's got line lock from the factory, which, you know, most new muscle cars also have line lock from the factory. But yeah, just such a beautiful car. I love the way that it looks. It makes 840 horsepower and 770 pound-feet of torque when filled up with race gas. That's absolutely insane that you can even get a car that is from factory and you can fill it with race gas if you guys do get the Demon crate package. Absolutely insane, and those are the reasons why I think the Demon is the most insane production car ever made. But I'm sure you guys are tired of me talking about it, but there are a couple things I want to show you guys on the interior before we move on to the drive, which is, I'm sure, what you guys are all waiting for. Looks very similar to a standard Hellcat on the interior. However, you get a Demon ghoul on the seat back. And then one other thing that I wanted to show you guys is that there were only 3,300 Demons made, and this is number 521. You can see right over there, 521. Still has that sticker on it right there. And then right here, you got a pretty cool Easter egg. I'm not sure if the GoPro is going to pick it up, but right there, you have a silhouette of a Demon doing a burnout. It's so, so sweet. And then you also get an Alcantara wheel, which is different from the Hellcat, and then you also get white gauges rather than the red gauges that you find on the Hellcat as well. Let's give it a little rev. You do get a little rev limiter at just over 4,000 RPM. You can control the trans brake through these two paddle shifters here. I'm not sure if I'm going to show you guys that. I'm definitely not going to do any crazy launches, but we will definitely be doing a couple accelerations because it's a Demon after all. I mean, isn't that what this thing is built to do? So we will be doing a couple accelerations, but man, this thing is absolutely phenomenal. It feels special. It looks special. And from me sitting in the driver's seat, I'm 5'9". I'm not a huge person, but this thing feels like a thick vehicle, and the way that it drives, you could daily drive it. I'm not even kidding. The suspension is so compliant, so you could, if you wanted to, daily drive your Dodge Demon. I'm not sure if you guys would want to because there were only 3,300 made, so this is a very, very special car. Again, thank you to 3 Deuces Garage for lending me this vehicle. There are a couple things that I did skim over because I was just so in awe of the beast that this Demon is, and I'm gonna read those things that also make this thing pretty dang insane for being a production car. Is that this does have a chilled intercooler system, and then also the Demon from factory standard comes with just the driver's seat. So it'll strip out the speakers, it'll strip out the passenger seats, but you can add all the passenger seats in for just $1. So if you guys want the interior so you can take your family on cruises and stuff like that, then you're gonna have to pay a whole whopping $1 to get that interior thrown back in. And then to get that Demon crate package is also another $1. So you might be breaking the bank getting those two things, but but I do think that they are both worth it unless you're going to be really drag racing this car, which is just absolutely insane to even say on a production vehicle that was sold from a manufacturer, not just like a one-off car like a Pagani. This is like the same manufacturer that makes the Chrysler Pacifica and the Ram 1500. I mean, it's insane to even have those two things in it. And then one thing that it's pretty funny, in my opinion, is that we have about a quarter tank of fuel, but the range is low. Like, it won't even tell me that I have 25 miles of range. Like, the range is low. Let's see what kind of fuel economy we're getting right now. Getting 9.9 miles per gallon at the moment. So I don't think you guys are gonna be buying these things to get good fuel economy. I don't think that really matters. But enough of me talking. Let's go on to the drive. All right, guys, so I have yet to do an acceleration in the Demon, but we're gonna do a little, you know, mild something here real quick. But you don't even have to get on this thing to hear that beautiful supercharger whine. So let's do a little something here. Oh my God. That is insane. I'm gonna roll the windows up. Give me a second. Like that, I mean, I didn't even get on it really, and it's so insane. I'm gonna go to the speedometer so I can see how fast I'm going. That was the top speed you guys just saw there. That was not me, unfortunately, doing that top speed run, even though I would definitely like to do a top speed run like that. But man, this thing is just such a blast to drive. Like, even driving it, not getting on it or anything like what we're doing right now, the suspension is just so compliant. It's phenomenal, honestly. And another thing is, you could daily drive this thing. I mean, you could definitely daily drive this thing. No problem daily driving it. It's a lot of fun to drive. You definitely tramline, you know, because you got those 315s up front, 315s in the back. So there's definitely a little bit of tram lining going on, but who really cares? I mean, I don't think you guys are going to be daily driving this. This is going to be more of a weekend driver, but this thing is just absolutely insane. To have a trans brake from factory, you can engage that. I think you put your foot down on the brake, hold both paddles in, then you let your foot off of the brake, and then you just keep holding on the left paddle, and then it basically holds you in place. So I mean, this thing is just insane. You can do launches, I believe, at like 2,300 RPM is what the trans brake sets to. We'll do a little something right here. Oh, man, this thing is fun, guys. Oh my God, I wish you guys were here. I wish you guys were able to ride along with me, drive it, but unfortunately, this is the best that I can do. And between the exhaust note, between the supercharger whine, it's just such a joy to drive. Like, let's do a little something. Oh my God. And I love the red. I love the big Demon intake on the top of the hood. That's when you're driving down the road, you see this thing, like that guy, I'm driving by this way, he sees me, he's like, that's a Demon. And you can name off a Demon instantly because it's got that big intake. It's just such a beautiful vehicle, especially here in the red. For some reason, before I went into this video, I was thinking that this thing was black, but I got surprised when I saw it in red, and I was like, oh, thank God. I love this red color. It's just such a beautiful vehicle. I feel like so privileged to be able to drive it, honestly. I mean, only 3,300 made worldwide, and I'm driving one of the 3,300 right now. So I feel very privileged to be able to drive this thing, and it's an experience to be able to drive this thing. And we're gonna do a little acceleration. We're gonna turn down this way because it turns into a 2-lane. We'll do a little acceleration to the right, acceleration back this way, and then we'll call it a day. So let's skip to that hard acceleration now. This thing gets up to speed almost too easily. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't even get on it right there, and we just shot up the RPM speed, or the speedometer. This thing is ludicrous. All right, now we're in the 2-lane goodness. You can see we got a straight road ahead of us, so I'm gonna punch it. I'm gonna roll onto it, but I'm gonna get on it. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Woo. Oh my God, this thing is insane. Once this thing hooked, it books. Oh my. That was pretty gnarly, I have to say. But I'm gonna do a little U-turn here if I can, and we'll do another little acceleration. All right, guys, here we go. Basically have our own free track, and I'm just gonna floor it again. A little bit of wheel spin. Oh my God. Whoa. Oh my God, that was insane. That was, oh my God. I don't even know what to say right now. That was just, that was an experience, man. It's so fun. And I'm not gonna like go into track mode and do like, you know, a little acceleration with less of the doohickeys and the nannies on. I like to keep that on. It's not my car. I don't want to slide this thing off the road, even though I feel like I could handle it. Man, just such, that was, I mean, I have no words. That was amazing. Such an experience. Thank you again, Bryan and Steve at Deuces Garage. Just an absolutely insane riding, driving experience. I mean, this is an experience. Really, it is an experience. I feel, again, just so lucky to have been able to drive this. This is 521 of the 3,300 Demons that were made, and it's just, wow. That's how I can describe this, as wow. Just insane. I'd love to put this thing down a track. I'd love to see what it would do, but man, it's such an experience. Thank you guys again so much for allowing me to do this. Santa, you have the ultimate sleigh. This thing's absolutely gnarly, and it definitely gets some looks. Like, it's getting some looks. I think people realize, maybe, I'm not sure, maybe I'm just overthinking it, but that this is a Demon and it's not just a Hellcat. So again, this car is insane. To summarize it, wow. Wow, that's how it's crazy. You guys have to get in one, you have to experience one, you got to drive one to know what I'm talking about. It's just, it really just puts you back in your seat. It's insane. But again, if you guys want to see more videos like this, Three Deuces has some pretty insane cars. So if you guys would, run this thing up to 5K likes, and we'll do a video with another very special Hellcat that they have. Let's just say it's a chop top. So again, if you guys enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up, run it up to 5,000 likes, and we'll do a video with that drop top Hellcat. Again, please hit that subscribe button. I'm really trying to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I cannot do that without your guys' help. So if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.